Hello, friends. In the Call of Duty universe, there are certain characters whose stories don't just stay within the game, but also leave a permanent mark on the memory of players. One of them is Vladimir Makarov. When his name is mentioned, what comes to mind is not only war, but also betrayal, fear, and chaos. Today, I'll tell you the long and dark journey of one of the most ruthless faces of the Modern Warfare series, Makarov. Get ready, because this story is not just about a villain, but about how a nightmare turned into reality. Makarov's past is completely shrouded in mystery. Where he was born, how he grew up, no one truly knows. But one thing is certain: he was shaped in Russia's darkest times. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, the country fell into chaos. Mafias, terror groups, warlords. And in this environment, Makarov grew up in the shadow of weapons. From a young age, his cruelty stood out. Human life meant nothing to him. This cruelty soon caught the attention of Imran Zakayev. Zakayev was a nationalist ideologue and the leader of modern Russian terrorism. Makarov was not just another soldier at his side. He became his student, even his right hand. He learned a lot from him: how to use fear as a weapon, how not only to kill enemies, but to crush them under a psychological shadow. But Makarov wasn't just someone following Zakayev's path. He had much greater ambitions. And when Zakayev was killed, the only one who could fill the void he left was Vladimir Makarov. From then on, Makarov's name began to spread across the world. When he appeared in Modern Warfare 2, everyone quickly realized just how ruthless he was. One of the most controversial and unforgettable scenes in gaming history happened because of his plan. No Russian. That day, an airport in Moscow was turned into a bloodbath. Hundreds of innocent civilians were killed without mercy. But Makarov didn't do this only to kill. He had a deeper purpose. He wanted to pit America and Russia against each other. He built his plan with devilish precision. He even brought along an American undercover agent, but he never trusted him. At the end of the operation, Makarov killed him with his own hands, leaving his body at the scene. This way, the entire world believed that the massacre was America's fault. That moment became a turning point in gaming history, because Makarov wasn't just an enemy, he was the embodiment of humanity's darkest face. A man who had no hesitation in killing innocents, and who was willing to do anything to ignite a war between nations. That's why his name has always remained like a nightmare for players. But Makarov wasn't satisfied with just bloodshed. His true power came from manipulation. He managed to turn everyone against each other. In one country, he organized terror attacks. In another, he made secret deals. Weapons trafficking, drug smuggling, mercenaries. He used everything for his own gain. Makarov wasn't just a terrorist. He was also a businessman. For him, war meant power and money. Task Force 141 chased him countless times. Price, Soap, Ghost, and Roach, all of them risked their lives again and again trying to capture Makarov. But every time, he was one step ahead. Catching him was nearly impossible. His hiding places always changed, sometimes deep in the mountains, sometimes in an abandoned village, sometimes hidden in the shadows of crowded cities. Hunting him was like chasing a ghost in the dark. By the time Modern Warfare 3 arrived, Makarov was no longer just Russia's nightmare, but the world's. A full-scale war had broken out between America and Russia. European cities were under attack, innocent people dying in the streets, bombs exploding in London, attacks in Paris, and behind it all stood Makarov. He had succeeded in turning the world into a battlefield. But Price and his team never gave up. They were determined to stop him, no matter the cost. After months of pursuit, Makarov was finally cornered. On the top floor of a hotel, he tried to escape by helicopter, but Price confronted him. What followed was a deadly fight, and in the end, Price captured him. With cables, he executed him, hanging him until he drew his last breath. That moment marked the end of years of terror, the moment when the cries of the innocent were finally answered. Makarov was dead, but his name, the fear he spread, and the horror he created remained carved into the history of Call of Duty forever. Vladimir Makarov was not just a character, he was the embodiment of fear, chaos, and betrayal. What made him unforgettable was not his strength on the battlefield, but the deep scar he left in people's minds. Because sometimes, the greatest wars are not fought on the front lines, but in the hearts and minds of people. So what do you think? Was Makarov the greatest villain in Call of Duty history, or was it someone else? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. And until next time, see you in the next video.